Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Valecast. My name is Simo. Today I'm joined by Callum. Say hello, Callum.
Hello, Simo. How are we?
Very well, mate, as usual. As I'll mention that this show is brought to you by Motive. We get two main talking points for today, Callum. We've got two matches to cover. The first of which we played away at Turriff, where we lost 4-0, and then in the midweek fixture, which is yesterday from recording this, we were victorious against. His name is Keith. You were Keith. We beat Keith 2-0 away.
Yes.
At home. And a bit of a turnaround in fixtures.
Ever so slightly.
I feel like the game we expected. I probably expected to maybe get a point, or a win. We won it pretty convincingly, clean sheet, 2 goals, perfect game. And then the game that I thought that we would excel in and we'd really see maybe Deveronvale come out and get a few goals and a clean sheet, because I can't really recall if a time in the season where maybe we've went, and got maybe 4 or 5. I don't know if have we done that this season yet.
Apologies to the boys if we have, and I'm saying we haven't, but I don't think we've had a mauling victory just yet. That time will come, I'm sure.
That's what I really expected the Turriff game to be, but obviously the Turriff they got their first win of the season against us. They obviously seen that as an opportunity to really come out and put a marker down and try and turn the season around for them, which is obviously badly needed. But give us your opinion, Callum. What went wrong for us on today? On the day, sorry.
Yeah, on the day. So it's difficult to say exactly. Difficult to say. I think it was a bad day at the office. That's an easy way, and it's not hiding behind cliches or anything like that. I think it was a rubbish day weather-wise. It was a rubbish day of football from a Vale perspective. I think it was just one of those days. There was no individual performance analysis needed or anything like that. It just didn't go our way, and that's not it's not a 1-0 loss, where it's just a freak goal or whatever. But and obviously we have to accept that. But I don't think we were terrible. I don't think Turriff were Barcelona on the day either. But it just didn't go our way. Simple as that. Which I think on the back of some recent results, looking back at the Scottish Cup, looking back at the Aberdeenshire Cup, with a semi-final defeat there, I think there maybe been a couple of losses there that maybe just kind of, I don't think affected morale as such, because I think there's still fantastic team spirit there, and the boys are pumped up for every game as they should be and as they are. But I think maybe the weight of that maybe just came on them a wee bit there, and it's maybe a bit of an explanation for the weekend's result there. So it happens. It happens. Every team's going to have a strange result maybe, or no disrespect to Turriff at all. They are a good team, and the results this season haven't really been a true reflection of what that club's about either. But it happens. We accept it, we move on. We took our medicine from it, and then obviously went into the midweek tie there with an opportunity to put things right, which they well and truly did. So no, I think it's a difficult one. I mean, the first goal for Turriff at the weekend there, hearing that a free kick's gone in from the halfway line, you would just assume that there's a defensive error or a goalkeeping error or something like that. But watching the highlights back, I don't think Sean could have had anything else that he could have done with that one, to be honest, when you got a striker that runs right across your field of vision, right in front of the ball. On a wet day, the ball's just going to zip off the turf, and that's exactly what it did. So all been there, and it's just the way it goes. We'll have a game later in the season, I'm sure, where the results will go our way instead, and the team that we beat 4 or 5-0 is maybe feeling hard done by themselves. So it's football. We just have to accept that occasionally we're going to have a freak result like that. And yeah, as I say, I think just a weight of expectation, a couple of not disappointing performances. I don't think the Scottish Cup or the Shire Cup or anything like that was a disappointing performance, but it was obviously a disappointing result in the end. So I think that maybe played in the boys' minds a wee bit. And yeah, as I say, just mark it down as a really bad day at the office and move on.
Yeah, I think the fact that it was rectified almost immediately in
Yeah.
a midweek fixture, and our match against Keith was a bit of a 6 pointer because Keith are directly next to us on the table, or were at the time that we played the match. So that was the game that I thought, right, okay, that'll be a close one. There'll be probably not a lot in that. Um, I would expect us to edge it because we were at home, but I mean, 2 goals and a clean sheet is an important thing for Deveronvale, I think, because it's probably where we've maybe not had the results we should have had was because there's maybe just goals that haven't really went our way, and there've been a little bit, like wonder strikes from 30 yards out have went against us. These things have went like you said at Turf. Like a bad day of weather and a ball gets kind of carried away. We're touching it, it bounces, and you're never supposed to let a ball bounce. But these things just, I feel like we've maybe had a wee bit of bad luck in that regard. But a proper clean sheet, we scored early, we see out a 90 minutes. That's a turnaround.
It's
That's
something that's
something that
fantastic.
we've tried to nail down for quite a lot of the season. We've tried to nail that down and been really, really
Definitely.
close to it. And I
Definitely.
feel like in a 6 pointer, like Keith will play a team that's directly around us, that's competing for that mid-table. And bear in mind, if we beat Turriff, when we were recording this show, we would be 8th if we beat Turriff as well. If we got to 6 points over the fixture, which I think we maybe predicted we would do in the last episode of Valecast. But I think it goes to show, but that's progress. That's out of the two, that's the more meaningful game for me as the scoring early, seeing a hard 90 minutes against a side that's close to you in the league is incredibly important for us.
Definitely, definitely, a really important fixture last night. I think the fact that we weren't having to chase, a goal or anything like that, not conceding either first or even at all, as it was last night, I think is a big confidence boost. We've, I think, rightly been singing the praises of our back line and Sean as well. I think it is one of the best. I'm not just saying this with my red tinted specs on. Looking at the teams across the league, especially now that we have more access to Highland League football, being able to watch games that we're not involved in, I would fancy our back line up against anybody near enough, and I think they got their just rewards last night. By working hard, keeping that clean sheet. It's not to say Keith didn't have their chances either, and a couple of the forwards getting in with the goals as well. Dane, another one onto the goal tally for the season. Young Matt Jameson, not long back from injury himself, so great to see him coming straight back in and getting amongst the goals again. Fantastic prospect, on loan to us from Elgin. So, we're really enjoying seeing him play. And I think we look a better team, with players like that back in amongst it. So, and the same goes for like Matthew Wallace as well. Another standout performance from him. It could have been a few more than that. Reading the match report, we had our chances to maybe have a 4 or 5-0 win ourselves and really put the weekend right. But at the end of the day, 3 points, 3 points. I'll take that. Sets us up perfectly for this weekend, an opportunity to keep climbing the table again. We put last weekend's result behind us. The boys have come back out. Craig and Mo will have demanded a performance from them last night, and they got it. So I think Craig will be very happy with that. That response, as I say, a couple of tough fixtures we've had. Obviously, the disappointment of the Scottish Cup, which is, it's maybe, likes of ourselves as well included. We do build things, the Scottish Cup games up a lot, as you'd want, as the supporters want to see us perform in the Scottish Cup. So they've got all of that extra pressure as well. So taking teams, to replays, to penalty shootouts, and not going through, it's bound to have a wee confidence knock, and I'm sure Saturday gives us a chance. This coming Saturday gives us a chance to continue that kind of road to redemption, as it were, and put the 3 points we got last night, put another 3 points on top of that, and I'm sure we'll be happy enough with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're rightly saying. I mean, there's a lot more eyes on Highland League this season. It's a wee bit more accessible, and this is the direction. I think it's important that the Highland League moves in that direction. And we would probably argue it's maybe our jobs to build up these matches and get people excited for them. And But that comes a wee bit of pressure in itself, and obviously we're nothing but behind the team. That's why I wasn't massively shook by the game at Turriff. I mean, I knew there was always a risk at an offset. I did mention on that episode of Valecast as well that Turriff will be looking for a win at any point, and every game for them would probably feel like a cup final until they got that win. Because it's just about getting that 3 points, not that first win on the board. And if a team comes up and they're not quite at it on the day, then there's a good chance that it's going to go against you. But the important result, the result that marks the quality at Deveronvale, I think, is the clean sheet. Two goals, scoring early. It's something we've struggled to do this season, a little bit this season, is score early, or score in the first half even, and not end up chasing games. Even though we maybe use the quality we have to chase games, get a result, get ahead, or get an equaliser, But what I think the 2-0, against the team that's around you, that's the thing. That's a real representation of this squad for me as a match.
Absolutely, sets a bit of a benchmark,
Yeah, of the results, or of his result or results that this squad deserves to be getting, because it is absolutely good enough. Every time I've seen them, I've known that they are good enough to get these results.
No, I'd agree. I mean, I think, and I've said a few times now on Valecast, with absolutely no disrespect to the boys that have come before, because I've been not involved with the Vale, for that long in the grand scheme of things, but I've seen a few different variations of our starting 11 and subs bench and things like that. And I would say that the squad that Craig and Mo have assembled is probably the strongest squad we've had in a number of years. With so much competition across near enough every single position in the park. And even still, when we've got players out injured just now as well, it's still a hotly contested starting 11 to get into. And once you're in it, there's no guarantee that you're going to be in it for a long time. So, there's always going to be boys champing at the bit to get their opportunity to come on. And that's adding to the excitement, I think, this season as well. We've got a couple more cup competitions to look forward to. We've had, likes of the league kind of performances have been very strong of late, and minus that Turriff game, we've been on quite a good league run. So good to see the points on the board against Keith. And Keith's not an easy fixture. They have maybe not kind of set the usual standards that they would expect up there this season. I think with Cammy Keith retiring, that's a very, very difficult striker to replace. With the amount of goals that Cammy popped in his career, that's not easy to replace overnight. So they're in a wee bit of a transition in that side of things as well. I don't think that's the easy game that maybe others might have looked at and expected. So really happy to get the points on the board against Keith, because they've done my nut in the last couple of years with picking up points at Princess Royal Park. I know Cammy Keith personally as well, and he was never short to rub it in my face when Keith picked up the 3 points against us. So so I'm very happy that I can return the favour to him this week. So a good week, overall. I think, as I say, the Turriff result, the result's one thing, the performance is another. And sometimes the two don't always match up. As I say, I think it was just a bad day for us last weekend, and then a very, very good day yesterday. So we'll take that.
We'll take that. 3 points over the two fixtures isn't the end of the world for us. I did mention that had we got the 6 points, we would have moved up to 8th, which is a great projection for us, considering we started the season quite difficultly, and there was a point where we were in sort of like bottom 3, bottom 4. But if you take that sort of Turriff result out, our league form is really picking up. It's been really good, and I really base my sort of opinions on the squad of that last match we played.
Yeah.
I want to finish up the episode by going over the league table, just to give our the Valecast viewers a little update where we stand in the Highland League. At the top of the table, undefeated Fraserburgh, 12 games played, 11 wins and 1 draw. They're absolutely flying, having a bit of a wonder season.
A bit of a scare last night, though. I mean, the end result didn't signify that, but they went a goal down. So they're not immortal. We'll look forward to taking them on soon enough. I think we were due to play them on the 30th of October, I think it was, but that's now been postponed because of our involvement in the cup. So because we were one of the teams picked out to get a round 1 or preliminary round draw. So thanks very much for that. So we'll see them at some point before Christmas, I'd assume.
A great test, I
Oh
think,
God, yeah.
for the Vale squad. And then we have Inverary Locals in second place, 8 wins, 3 draws, and 1 loss. And below them we have Brecon, who are they've got 2 games in hand, but this isn't probably as easy as the league as they maybe thought they were going to come into.
It's not the cakewalk they thought. I don't
No,
think.
no, I don't think.
If you've never been, and you never know, there may well
It
be
wasn't like
viewers.
that. That's maybe a little bit harsh on Brecon, because a lot of the noise made about them was from external media sources that
Yeah,
very much thought
yeah.
that Brecon were going to be like a bit of a yo-yo. If they go into the Highland League, it would be probably a little bit too easy for them, and they'll come straight back up, and it'll pretty much avoid Highland League season for everybody else. But absolutely not the case.
No, that's the thing. If you don't know the Highland League, and as I say, there may be people watching this, might have stumbled across this on YouTube tonight, that have never watched the Highland League game before. It is not, it's not a Diddy League. It is not a place where former pros hang out or anything like that. It is real football. That's the thing. Fans and players so close together. Fantastic atmosphere at all the matches, to be honest with you. And the quality is. I've said this to you hundreds of times before, Simo. And like when we first met and things like that, the quality of Highland League football is, in my opinion, greater than some of the things that you see in the professional leagues. So, it's always a fantastic experience to get that. So if anybody is watching and you're in and around, this kind of area in Scotland, then make sure you go and support your local team. Whether it's Deveronvale, we'd love to see you, or whether it's other teams close by, then, please go and support these great teams that we've got in this great league of ours. So.
I think they would be surprised, and every time I watch a Highland League game, I'm never in doubt that I'm looking at players that could play in the Football League easily. Ross Aitken is always one I point out when I see him play, and I see his movement and his leadership on the pitch. I always think, he could play Football League easily. We have Brecon in third place, as I mentioned, 7 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses. Below them we have Rothes, recent cup winners, I believe. They've got 6 wins on the board, 4 draws, so still undefeated in the league, making themselves hard to beat. I can see what they're trying to do, playing sort of.
Yeah, definitely, and their gaffer's got them set up perfectly. I think we will be playing them away on the 16th of October. So we look forward to that one. But I think as it stands just now, they're 14 games unbeaten, I think, across all competitions. So, there's obviously something happening there. We saw them, of course, in pre-season when we had quite a freak high-scoring game that we lost out by, I think, 1 goal. And again, looking very strong. They've recruited very well again this season. And they've shown their strength, they've shown their skill. They've gone and won a cup, as you say, and not just won a cup, but they went and beat, I think it was Brora in the final. So that's no mean feat in itself. So definitely, and looking ahead at some of our matches, I know we'll continue to go through the table in just a second, but looking ahead to our next kind of 4 matches, I suppose we've got Forres away, Rothes away, Lossiemouth at home, and then Lossiemouth at home again. So, 3 league games and 1 cup game there. We've got the Highland League Cup prelim against Lossiemouth on the 30th. So, those are teams. Rothes is a very tough. I think they're the toughest of the 3. But Forres and Lossie, that's teams that we've got every opportunity to go and take 3 points off. So if we can be picking up 6 points from 9, I'll be very happy with that. If we can get 7 or 9, even better.
Absolutely. I'm not surprised. I'm not altogether surprised that Rothes actually won a cup. Teams that make themselves hard to beat generally do really, really well in tournament football. Making themselves frustrating the opposition and things like that. I mean, although they've still managed, they've got 2 games in hand, 4 draws on the board. That bodes well for them. And even though they're not tippy top of the table, they could be thereabouts come the end of the season if they carry on that way. There's absolutely no reason why they couldn't be making a sort of final push. Bucky Thistle in 5th place, 6 wins, 1 draw and 3 losses, followed by Brora. I will state Brora have 3 games in hand. It's not really a fair total assessment of how Brora have started the season. They're a wee bit behind the rest of the teams. So
unless they lose those 3 games, of course.
Unless they lose their 3 games. But they might very well win them and put themselves right up among the top of the table. But we'll see how they carry on. I'm just going to go for league spots from here on. In 6th place we have Formatine United, then Huntly in 7th place, Clatnacoon in 9th place, Forest Mechanics in 10th, Deveronvale in 11th, above Keith FC, who we've just beat. Lossiemouth in 13th, Wick Academy in 14th, Nairn County in 15th place, Strathspey Thistle in 16th. Turriff off the bottom of the table in 17th place, and Fort William at the bottom of the table. 10 games played, yet to get a win.
What game from them last night, though? I thought that was going to be their first victory. They raced into a 2-goal lead against, I think it was Strathspey they were playing, obviously away from home, just given the current situation there. I think the game ended 7-3. So, just back up what I was saying before, what a game from a neutral's perspective. I mean, Fort William, historically, or more recently, maybe the last few, 10 years or so, and maybe doing a disservice to them there, have been propping up the bottom of the table. And I don't think that's particularly fair. They are a good club. They're obviously restricted in terms of location and everything like that, where they can be attracting players from and to. But I think it'd be nice to see. I say nice to see them get a win. Certainly not at Princess Royal Park, but
not at our expense.
No, absolutely not. But I thought last night, as I say, when they went 2-0 up, I kind of thought, here we go. This is going to be an opportunity for them to try and take Turriff down a peg or two, put them at the bottom now. But unfortunately, it's just going to run away with itself in the end there. But you're always guaranteed a good game with Fort William, and I think also we have actually we can put a loss possibly on record to Fort William this season, as one of their strikers just pipped Robert Scott to the goal of the season so far poll that was done by our pals over at the Press and Journal Sports. So that's something for them to smile about, I'm sure.
Unlucky for Bob.
Aye, robbed, by the way, robbed.
Rightio. I think that's going to do us for this week. We just wanted to update you on the table and how we're doing. Still positive movement for the Vale. What could have been? We could have been sort of approaching that sort of top third. If things went away, unfortunately, they didn't. But we'll be back next week to bring you all the Vale news. Hopefully, it's as good as it can be. That's all we're going to bring you this week. If you could please like and subscribe on the video, it really does help us a lot at Deveronvale, and we shall see you on the next one. Cheery bye.